Hi, this is Frank Shamrock, MMA legend, UFC superstar, and you're listening to MMA Crib Fighting Talk.
Gregory Stone, MMACrib.com. On today's show, I'll be speaking with the mystery man who was involved in the Tito Ortiz Stephan Bonnar scuffle last night. He is former UFC heavyweight fighter Justin McCully. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Well, thank you very much. Glad to be here.
It's my pleasure, Justin. Now, Justin, pretty much anyone who's followed Tito Ortiz's career, they will know that you was a constant figure in his corner, mainly throughout his title defences and obviously when he was trying to get the title back. So it was, for me personally, it was really strange to see you as the mystery man. I was like, oh, who's the mystery man? Maybe Rico Rodriguez, because obviously he was long-time friends. I was thinking maybe Rico, but then took the mask off. Justin McCully was there. So just, could you tell the listeners a little bit of background on you and Tito? How did you and Tito meet, and why did you and Tito fall out?
Well, geez, I mean, we met at one of the first submission grappling tournaments ever hosted in Orange County back in like 1994, 95. We both won our divisions. He beat some guys from my team. I beat some guys from his team, and we kind of were rivals at that point. And then years later, Cheshire boxing coach brought us together to start training together, and we had a friendship and an alliance that formed, and we had amazing and great success together. And eventually, sometimes in sports, people get big-headed and they lose their way, and that kind of happened with Tito a couple different times in his life. And you'll see, as people fell off the wayside while they were training with him or supporting him, it was all due to his behavioral conditions and problems. And obviously last night he lashed out at us, calling us drug addicts or whatever, but that's mainly one of the reasons why I stopped hanging with you. He was partying too much, he was riding all the glory, taking all the money, and he wasn't really sharing it with the guys who got him where he was. There's a whole team of people that made him millions and millions of dollars, and he stiffed a lot of us. So, when you do that, you make bad blood and some real bad waves. And so unfortunately, he's got some people that really aren't happy with him and the decisions that he's made. He's been, good for himself and very selfish and a great self-promoter. And, my hat's off to him for making himself a superstar and all that. But people don't know the behind-the-scenes story. They just don't know who Tito really is. And while he's been a great friend of mine in the past, he just did some things when I needed him to be there, then that he wasn't there for me, and I think a lot of us were always there for him. We'd help him with his fights and even outside of life. I helped him out, in court cases and all kinds of stuff when he needed me to be there. And so it just felt really bad when you look to lean back on a friend and he kind of ghostwrites you, and so that's kind of what happened there. And the story is very similar with everybody you'll talk to that's ever had a falling out with him. And unfortunately now, there's about a dozen guys around the industry of mixed martial arts that happen to be very powerful and very affluent in the industry. Unfortunately, he's got a tab to pay, and he doesn't like paying them. So
you basically began steering yourself away from Tito Ortiz. And when did this actually happen? Was it like 2008, 2009? Because I can't recall the last time I seen you in Tito Ortiz's corner. When was the last fight you cornered him?
It was Machida. The Machida fight was the last fight I was there with him, and I didn't even really corner him for that fight. I actually went home early. I left the hotel the day before and went home just because I saw the writing on the wall. I knew that the same thing was going to happen. It's the Tito show, and everybody was going to get screwed. So I just kind of got out of the way and started thinking about myself and my own career and my children at home, that I needed to be there for, and started to live for Justin instead of just to make Tito, a big star.
Well, I asked you how you and Tito met. How did you and Stephan Bonnar meet? Was this recent after, you heard about him fighting Tito Ortiz?
Yeah, no, I've known Stephan. Stephan and I met each other at the Jungle Fight in Brazil, in Manaus, Brazil, way back in, I think it was like 2001. And he actually... Oh, maybe
Machida?
2003. Maybe, Machida. Maybe I'm going back a little too far.
Yeah.
2003.
How funny is that?
So anyway,
you met Stephan when he fought Machida,
yeah,
and you stopped hanging about with Tito when he fought Machida.
No. I was on Team Punishment then, actually, but it was just funny because Stephan and I hit it off at the event. We were on this little raft in the middle of the Amazon River. This is a hotel that's built on stilts, and there's only a couple hundred people there a night. And so you you meet your little cliques and your friends, and Stephan just happened to be one of the guys that I met there and really got to like and befriend, and you know, years had gone by, and we just so happened to be running in the same circles. We have the same manager, and we started to train together a little bit, and he, you know, he said, Tito's coming up, and our manager contacted me and said, hey, why don't you help out Stephan for this one? I said, if he's open to it, I'd love to. That'd be amazing. And, you know, for me, everything besides, you know, being on the other side of the corner and getting back at Tito, it really doesn't have that much to do with it. It has more with helping out my friend now, Stephan Bonnar, you know, achieve his dream, make his comeback, and do very well. He's had a little layoff, so I want to make sure that we support him the best as possible and put him in the ring in the best condition we can. You know, and unfortunately, if Tito, you know, would have called me first and said he had what he had going on, I probably still wouldn't have answered the call, just due to the fact of what, you know, he had done in the past and how he was with the financials and things like that.
Whose idea was it for you to enter the cage? Was it Stephan Bonnar's idea? Was it your idea?
No, that was my idea. That was my idea. I wanted to put a message in Tito's mind, and I wanted to get into his head a little bit, and I wanted him to know that, you know, Stephan's all business, and we're putting together a really good team and a really good game plan. And he knows that. He knows when I stand on the other side of the cage that he's got to be scared. Everybody knows that. My coaching record in the sport's impeccable, something that I'll stand by forever. And so, yeah, I'm going to prove it one more time with Stephan and Tito.
What was the reasoning for the mask? Was you looking to get a raw reaction from Tito? Obviously, if you just entered the cage, started walking in, and he saw you entering, then he'll know that it was you, so he could sort of prepare himself. With you wearing the mask and taking it off in the middle of the cage, he sort of was not expecting it. You know, he's going to be thinking, who's under the mask? So, did you sort of have a plan with the mask to get Tito Ortiz's raw reaction?
You know, it was great. I actually I came up with that, you know, last week, and I thought, wouldn't this be great? And Stephan said, that would be awesome. I'll pull you in the ring. We'll pull the mask off, and it just worked out really well. It had the reaction we wanted. You know, walking into the arena in a mask was kind of strange. Sitting down in the audience with the mask on and have people, you know, asking Stephan the whole night, "Who's the guy in the mask? Who's the guy in the mask?" It really created a great buzz, and made for an awesome promotion. And then getting in the ring, you know, Tito still had no idea. And even my good friends that run that promotion, you know, I had Rich Cho and Zach Lott. And a lot of the guys walking right by me, and they didn't even know it was me. You know, it's pretty funny. Even Coker, you know, Scott Coker walks by. He had no idea what was going on until we got in there and did it. So it was just one of those amazing moments in MMA that stamped our name on the game one more time.
Was you surprised that Tito Ortiz got physical in the cage and he actually went for Stephan Bonnar?
I really did get surprised. You know, he's a professional guy. He's a hyper. You know, you look at the campaigns that he's had with some of the legends in the sport, and they've been amazing. You know, and he's done some pretty severe antics himself to get a rise out of guys. So I was surprised that he let it get to him so much. But again, it obviously did get to him. It got in his head, and it got the reaction that we wanted. He started stumbling on his words there, fumbling on the microphone a little bit, and I think he got frustrated with that, and it really didn't know what to do with his emotion, and let it go. And I think he might have been a little saucy. I think he might have had a couple of drinks in him and felt a little froggy. But you know what happens when you wake up the next day and sober up and realize what he did. It all seems a little bit blurry and maybe not such a good idea. So we'll see how he thinks about it today. But yeah, he went after him, and we just, you know, we wanted to dissolve the situation without putting great harm on him. I mean, obviously you saw I grabbed him right there. I could have attacked him. We could have gotten into it right there, but we wanted to be professional and make sure that fight happens for the fans on November 15th in Bellator in San Diego, California.
Well, as he was leaving the cage, he said that the bad boy is back. Do you think you and Stephan Bonnar have sort of lit a fire under his ass, potentially?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he trains hard, and I hope he comes with his A game. He's going to need to, you know. I mean, Stephan's no joke. He's who he is for a reason. He likes to get into grind fest. He likes to get into those fights where it's dirty, nasty. He gets bloody, and he gets warmed up. So Tito's really going to his hands full. You know, this is the kind of guy that gives Tito Ortiz nightmares. So hopefully he does have a fire lit under his ass, and he's going to do what he needs to do to get into that ring and put on a good performance. And, you know, hopefully stay injury free. We don't want to see him try to drop out of this one for an injury or something like that, kind of run from the situation and the pressure. So, you know, hopefully he's definitely excited about it.
Sorry, Justin, is that something that concerns you? Because Tito Ortiz is very injury prone. Is that something that concerns you, that he might gain an injury in the lead up to the fight with Stephan?
Oh, absolutely. You always have to be concerned about that. You know, if Tito feels things might not go his way, then, you know, he might pull out. And I think that's pretty common across the board. The fear of getting into that cage and fighting with another man is a very, very real thing. And so we look at ways to get out of there sometimes when we need to. And obviously Tito's had that kind of a reputation on his record. So we're definitely concerned about it.
Well, I know you're short on time, so just one more question. Is there a message
Sure.
you'd like to leave for Tito Ortiz?
The message I'd like to leave for him is just, you should have done it right, buddy. All you had to do is do the right thing, and we would have, we wouldn't be in this position. I didn't do anything to you. I didn't go out of my way to screw you over, but you did, and it's just the way it is. It's nothing personal. Business is business.
Okay, from the MMA Crip Fighting Talk Show, thank you for watching.